Greetings Internet, it's Monica, and today I am so excited to share a new journaling video with you all. I know it's been a minute since my last one, honestly, because it's been a minute since I last journaled, but I've recently gotten back into it and I'm so excited and honestly feeling the effects of journaling more consistently again. Recently, I decided to invest in a new journal, and I decided to go with an Archer and Olive one because they just looked so lovely, and I love that they're ethically produced and their designs are just amazing. And I am so happy with this journal. I love the cover design, and I also just absolutely adore the paper quality. It's so thick, and I know that when I do any sort of gouache painting in it, it's just going to hold up so beautifully, unlike a lot of the other journals that I own. But yeah, I thought I would share with you all a little unboxing of my new journal, along with some new journaling supplies that I recently purchased. I love these little alphabet stamps that I got off of Amazon, and I think even the box it comes in is so lovely and just looks so magical on my desk. And also, of course, I had to pick up some inks to go along with those. I got these autumnal colors. I also got these Sakura gel pens, which, to be honest, not a big fan of. I was hoping that they would write a lot smoother than they did, but they were actually a little bit annoying to write with ultimately. I've always wanted these little bird scissors, so decided that this was finally my time, and of course had to use them to open up this little washi tape that I also found off of Amazon. It's basically different horoscopes, but I just think that it looks so magical and vintage, so I'm very happy with this find, and I am just loving using it in my journal. So this was actually the first spread that I ever did in this new Archer and Olive journal, and I really wanted to reflect on a quote that I have really taken to heart recently. It's actually by J-Hope from BTS. If you guys know me, you know J-Hope is my bias, and it might seem weird to find a quote from a boy band member to be so impactful, but I feel like if you are also a fan of BTS, you know that so much of their work and their lyrics and even just the words that they share with fans can be really insightful. And honestly, if you're judging someone for finding meaning in something, then that's really on you. And the quote goes, "There will be times in your life when you question your own decisions, whether you have made the right choice, whether you are doing well, or walking the path of failure. And when you do, remember, you are the leader of your own life." And I decided to write these quotes on 2 different pieces of paper and layer them in, just because I like that sort of layered look. And I used my new stamp kit in order to stamp out the word remember. I do spell remember wrong here, but I eventually do fix it, so please just ignore that. I know that this quote is pretty basic and like the idea is a pretty universal one, but when I read it, I think it just really struck a chord with me. I haven't really been able to talk about this much online for a variety of reasons, but I've definitely been having a bit of a rough time. Starting back in 2019, you guys know that I had to move away from New York City, which was a really hard decision for me, but I know now that it was the right one. It's hopefully not a permanent move, but basically I can't go into full details, but something happened in 2019 that was pretty traumatic, and I think I really just needed time away from the city and with my family to kind of recalibrate and come to terms and really deal with all of that stuff. I don't want to make it sound more dramatic than it is. I'm totally fine now, or at least I am in a much healthier place now than I was at the time. But yeah, I left New York City in October of 2019 for what was supposed to be a few months, and then obviously 2020 happened. But even before that, I was really struggling with feeling overwhelmingly like a failure. I had almost made plans to move back to the city in December, and I basically backed out of them at the last minute and spent a couple of months just regretting that choice immensely and feeling like I was just going completely down the wrong path. I've never really been one to believe in fate or the idea of what's meant to be will be. Honestly, I've always found it kind of egotistical, at least just for me personally. But I am now really thankful for the choices that I made in December, even though I made them out of fear, and even though at the time I regretted them so strongly. I'm so thankful to be home and that I've been home for basically the past year. And I'll be honest, I've definitely had a lot of ups and downs. For about a half a year, I was roommates with my mom, which I feel like for both of us was both wonderful and also very frustrating at times. And even though those months might have been really emotionally turbulent for me, I am also really thankful for that time and wouldn't trade those memories for the world. I feel like I'm finally beginning to feel at least somewhat a little bit of agency again. I mean, obviously my choices right now are very limited, as I think most people's are in 2020. But at least I'm starting to feel a little bit of control again over myself and my own mindset. And that's something that I've really been struggling with. And I'm so thankful to hopefully be seeing the other side of that tunnel again. I just came across this quote right when I really was coming to that realization myself. And so to read it was just really solidifying for me, and especially the whole idea of failure, which is one that I think for a long time I have measured by other people's approval. I think this year I've begun to see failure and success a little differently, and to try and measure it in ways that actually are meaningful on my happiness and well-being, and not on other people's opinions or the opinions of society. And so I love this idea of the fact that I am the leader of my own life. I get to choose what brings me joy and what makes me feel like a success or not. And so I wanted to just reflect on that a little bit, and also just write about some of the things that I'm thankful for over the past couple of months or even past year. I'm really thankful that Joe Biden won the election, for example. I've also been trying to measure success in the time that I am able to spend with the people that I love, both online and offline. Obviously, I am social distancing and not seeing anyone in real life unless I live with them, but I am really thankful that I've been able to get to know the family that I live with even more closely, and for the time that I've been able to spend with them, and also for the friends that I've been able to spend so much more time with thanks to the internet. I mean, honestly, I feel like this year has taught me so much about keeping in contact with people, and that's something that I want to continue doing in the future. Anyways, I'd love to hear from you all. What are some ways that you like to measure success, or some things that you're thankful for? Let me know in the comments down below, and thank you all so much for watching. Bye!